Bonjour! My name is Abomination, and welcome to my first ever episode of the Pokémon Masters Endless Mode Ideas. So the rules of this: one team goes until it's defeated. It's obvious 3-on-3 battles, just like normal. Your team is fully healed after every single battle. Opponents will be randomly selected. It will be a random trainer. That trainer will have a random Pokemon out of their 6, and their position will be random, whether they're standing on the right, the left, or in the middle. Opponents will have styles, as in Strike, Tech, and Support, and their EX and their Sync moves, will be based on those. For the most part. Opponents will have basic theme skills. Okay, for example, Kanto, Water, and Support. Those things like that. Those are obviously interchangeable. The player has no way to tell which opponents they'll face, so they can't abuse weaknesses. This is similar to the battle tree, in the sense that you just keep going and going and going until you're defeated. It's very much so like the battle tree. Very much so like the battle tree. Every 5 battles passed will grant the player with 2 battle resets. So that's the thing where you quit the battle and you go back in because you didn't get a move point refresh. Or something like that. Like you're losing, but you know you could do it with that team, so you back out and you go back in right away. Those are the battle resets. You can't switch your team, but you can reset twice every 5 battles. And every 20 battles, the player will face a set trio. It won't be random trainers, but they will have random Pokemon. So, for example, the Kanto trio of Red, Leaf, and Blue. Those 3. That's one of the options. There will be other trios. The 20th battle will have 1 opponent EX'd. You're completely random. Completely random, one of those 3 that are EX'd. The 40th battle will have 2 of them EX'd. And every 20 battles after that will have all of them EX'd. So the 60th, 80th, 100th, 120th, they will all have EXs. After a win streak of 20 or more, every trainer that's not part of the 20th battle has a 20% chance of being EX'd just completely randomly. So for every single battle, 20% chance after the 20th one that one of them is just EX'd randomly. That doesn't change the stats. All it changes is that their Sync move will deal more damage. Or, well, not more damage. Their Sync move will have the EX buff. Like, Strike will hit all targets. In this, not everything will hit all targets like they normally do. So, yeah, Tech will do more damage if their EX and Support will obviously give the +2 Sync move morale, is what I call it. And then that chance increases by 20% every 20 battles. So a win streak of 100 will end up, you'll end up at 100%. Now, for those theme skills I was talking about, they'll roughly give these kind of bonuses. So the type, obviously, like Water, for example, that theme skill works better than the other ones normally, so I made it still work better. If a Striker has that theme skill go off, it's about +30 to 35 damage to your guys, roughly. If a Tech has that go off, it's about 15 to 20 damage and 3,000 HP for everyone. And if a Support gets that bonus, then it's 6,000 HP for everyone. If the type matches. If any other theme skill matches, Strikers get 20 to 25 more damage about, Techs get 10 to 15 plus 1,500 HP about, and Supports get 3,000 HP for everyone. I'm gonna have, there's like tiers that I have here, so I'm gonna have a toughness rating for every single one, for every Pokemon, and I'm gonna have and their stats will have these tiers as well. So there's excellent, great, good, average, decent, poor, and terrible. So those are going to be the tiers there that I'll be used to rate all the things. So basically, what I want here, why I'm doing this, is I'm trying to get a game mode that you can just play, that won't be like it won't be an event that goes away. I want it to stay. So yeah, I'm gonna have it's gonna stick, and I want it to have a fresh experience every time you play it. So basically what this video is I'm going to be describing to you a trainer and all 6 of their Pokemon per video. In this one, it's Misty. I've chosen Misty because she's pretty easy to work with because she has multiple alts right now. She's got 3. So I kind of know what sort of techniques that she likes to do. Like, for example, Misty, all 3 of her alts right now have evasiveness buffs. So most of these guys are going to have evasiveness. There's only one, I think, that doesn't have evasiveness for what I made up, just for example. And also, her policy is an all-out offensive with water-type Pokemon, right? So I thought that was also easy to work with. So, with that being said, let me get into the first trainer. At the end of this, let me know which one of these guys is your favorite and which one is your least favorite. I do kind of want to hear the judgments. I made up some of my own passives for these 2, so I hope you like those. So anyway, let me get into the first one. We got Seaking, right? Seaking's pretty cool. Every single one of these Pokemon she has had in the past in a main series game or in Masters, right? So Seaking she has had, obviously. Toughness rating average, right? Okay. Type of water. Style is a physical striker. It's got 30,000 HP. So that might seem low, like Champion Stadiums guys usually have about 90,000. About, if you do the buffs. So it's 90,000 there, plus there's the sides in the Champion Stadium, each that probably with about 25,000 maybe. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so in this game mode, any opponent can use their sync move. Okay, it's not just the middle that you have to worry about. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have all 3 opponents a worry, and you actually have to pick which one you want to take out first, right? It's going to be a strategy. Which one is best against your team is even one of the loading screen tips. Take out the guy that you think is best against your team. In the Champion Stadium, that doesn't matter. The only guy you have to worry about is the middle. That's the only weakness of the Champion Stadium, I will say. The sides just kind of stand there, and you just attack the middle. The sides just kind of stand there, and the middle is the only thing that attacks you. Until the middle goes down, the sides don't do anything. Or if the middle is flinching, the sides don't do anything unless you disrupt the middle in some way. Except for at the very beginning of the battle, the sides attack once. But aside from that, they don't do anything, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have all 3 guys actually a part of the fight. So any of them can sync move. The order is the right side will sync move first, the left side will sync move second, and the middle will sync move last, if it lasts that long. Okay? So back to Seaking. It pairs with Water, Kanto, and Gym Leader. Pretty simple. I said its weakness is Grass, I think. Its attack is good, I say, which is about, with firing off a 3-gauge move, probably about 160 damage to an average support. Average support being like someone like Leaf and Eevee. Even though Leaf and Eevee is really good because they, about 160 damage to around there, I think. So if your guy has about 250 defense, they'll do about 160 damage to you, which isn't much, but you'll see that does matter. It will be more. Defense is decent, so not very good. It's like Latios. I'll compare it to Latios. Latios does not have good defense. Special attack is decent. Special defense is decent good. And then speed is poor decent. So pretty slow Seaking here. It's going to have problems here. We got gauge reserves of 12. So in case you don't know what gauge reserves are, opponents, they have an extra move gauge that is automatically just full at whatever the cap is, and they get to use from that move gauge before they use their bar that fills up. The regular move gauge bar that fills up, right? So 12 move gauge. she just has in store. The opponents always have that. That's why when you lower their speed and paralyze them, that's why they can still keep pouring on attacks for a long time. Eventually they slow down, but that's why they keep doing that, because they do have gauge reserves. In theory, I don't actually know 100%, but I'm 90% sure they have that. So items and trainer moves, we got X Speed All with 1 move point, with Barricade Buddies 2. I say 1 move point because some of these do have move point refresh. Yeah. So X Speed All with Barricade Buddies 2. Barricade Buddies 2 raises the special defense of all allied sync bears by 2. Yeah, that's there because all 3 of her ults raise special defense in some way. Even though only one of them, or sorry, well, 2 of them are supports, one of them's tech, but the tech even raises special defense, so I figured why not do that again. Her trainer move I called World Famous Offensive. So I made a trainer move for every single one of these guys, and I will make a trainer move for every single one of these guys, except for the ones that already exist, like Starmie. I'll just keep the same trainer move. So anyway, this one, World Famous Offensive, has 2 move points. It raises the user's attack by 2 stat ranks, raises the user's critical hit rate by 1 stat rank, which is deadly, raises the accuracy of all allied sync bears by 1 stat rank. In addition, restores the user's HP by 20%, which is 6,000 HP, when the weather is rainy. Okay, passives here. We got Racing Rain 4. We got Team Racing Rain 2, which is not in the game, but I made it up, but it's not that creative yet. It's just, yeah. We got Raging Rain 2, which will power up that weak 160 move. And then Team Raging Rain 2, so 160 damage already. It's because the 30% boost in Rain, because it's 30% in Masters and not 50%. And then it gets another 20% from Raging Rain, and then another 20% from Team Raging Rain 2. So if it's raining, she'll do damage. Here's a new passive, Elusive Rain 5. So, has a chance, whatever the number is, to evade attacks when the weather is rainy. So like I said, every single one of her ults right now has evasiveness. I didn't want to give this one evasiveness the stat, but I gave it a way to evade. So if it's raining, there's a 50% chance she evades whatever attacks her. If it's raining. If she does evade though, Slippery Slope 4, which means there's a 50% chance that her evasiveness goes up by 1. So she can get the stat, but it's hard. She has to dodge it first, and then 50%. She has to get a 50% dodge, and then she has to get a 50% increase. 50% passive to increase her evasiveness. So it's hard to increase it, but it is possible. Refreshing Rain 1, so that's 1,875 HP if it's raining when she takes an action. Rain Rally 2. Here's another new passive I made up. This one here you guys might like, because I like it a lot. Has a chance, number plus 10%, of making the weather rainy when the user's Pokemon uses a water-type move. So she uses a water-type move, there's a 30% chance it starts raining. That's how she does it. Right? Cloudburst is another new passive. It should exist, but it doesn't exist. Causes the weather to be rainy after using the user's sync move. It's that simple. Archie has something like it, but his only works on his first sync move. This one works on all of them, so I wanted to make a new passive. And Cloudburst is a pretty cool name. We got Flameproof in reference to Water Veil, because Seeking gets Water Veil. I didn't say that actually. I'm basing a lot of these off of the stats in the main games and the abilities in the main games, sort of what they do. So Seeking also has Swift Swim in the main games, so I figured like it does like the rain a lot. Yeah. We got Lesson Paralysis 9, so it has Lightning Rod in the main games, which makes it immune to electric type moves. It's not immune to electric type moves, but I did give it Lesson Paralysis 9. So if it does get paralyzed, it will almost negate that. Assume, by the way, I didn't mention this either, every single resistance to stat drops is 50%. and every single resistance to status conditions is 50%, including poison, but there will be ways to deal with poison. It won't be that amazing. There are going to be ways to deal with it. I will make sure that poison doesn't claim the field, because always how they build it right now, poison has a higher resistance than the rest of the statuses because it's better. I don't like that. I don't want it to be better. I want it to be about the same. So I'm going to keep the resistances, but try to balance it with other passives. Lessen flinch 8, so instead of lessen flinch 5. And then self-cleanse 2, so that's what Tornadus has. Not Skyla's Therian form Tornadus, the legendary arena Tornadus. There's a 30% chance when it attacks that it cures all status conditions on itself, not on its allies. Okay, it's got inertia, so you should know what that does. The higher your speed is, the more sync move damage. And then slapdash 4, if it does evade an attack, there's a 50% chance that her speed goes up by 1 to pair with inertia. Right? And then burgeoning 9 is another new passive I made up. When the user's ailment move is used and inflicted an ailment on an opponent, has a chance, number plus 10, of inflicting the same ailment on all opposing sync bears. So it's pretty much go viral, except for both ailments. And ailments are flinch and confusion and trap. Those are the ailments. So yeah, if she flinches or confuses or traps you, she does that to the entire team. So I didn't get to the moves yet, but you'll see what that actually means. So that's all her passives. Let me get to the attacks here. We got Liquidation with Honor Roll 1 and Raging Rain 1, so it will do slightly more damage than the other water type attacks. And then Waterfall here. Waterfall just has Rain Rally 1, which will... not only she has a base 30% chance of causing it to rain with a water type move, but with Waterfall specifically, she has another 20% chance. So higher chance for it to rain when she uses Waterfall, and also Waterfall has a 20% chance to flinch, just base, right? I didn't give it Aggravation because I thought that'd be too strong, because if she does flinch, remember, she will flinch your entire team. That is very devastating if it happens, but it's not likely that she happens to go for Waterfall and then she flinches you, especially since the opponents act a lot slower than you do. But there is that chance there. I'm trying to make this challenging. She's got Mega Horn with Super Preparation 4. Okay, so Mega Horn is bug type coverage, because some grass types are weak to bug, and Seeking is weak to grass, right? So she has that there just in case there is a grass type that's weak to bug. The only one that comes to my mind is Dawn and Torterra. If there are others, I can't think of them right away, but I know Dawn is weak to bug. And then Super Preparation 4 paired with it, if she lands it, there's a 50% chance that her next super effective attack will be powered up. So if you are weak to bug, that's going to be dangerous. You will have coverage for it. And then we have Drill Run with Critical Strike 2. So Drill 1 isn't powered up in the rain, so I gave it Critical Strike 2. She also gets +1 critical hit rate, if you remember, with her trainer move, so she might crit if you don't have Vigilance, but you will have Vigilance, so Drill Run's not bad. Mega Horn is also balanced because it's not powered up in the rain, so yeah, it will get the Raging Rain boosts, but it won't get the 30% water type move boosts. So now there's more attacks here when one of her allies goes down. So this is gonna, it's not just Seeking, it's gonna be for everyone. When an ally goes down on her side, when her ally goes down, she gets access to more attacks, and her passives could be better, or she could have different passives. And then when she's all by herself, she gets access to even more attacks, and potentially even more passives. So when one ally is down, she gets Rain Dance. Right, so just in case rain isn't up, she has the option to use it now. With Propulsion 4, when she uses it, so 50% chance that her sync move charge by 1. And then a new passive I'm calling Tenacity Blitz 1. So what that does increases the user's physical moves up by number of stat ranks when the user's Pokemon uses a move. So she uses Rain Dance, and then her next attack will get physical move up 1. That's pretty simple, but it just, again, just slightly more damage. And then Ally KO passives. We got Raging Rain 4 that will replace Raging Rain 2 when one of her allies goes down. So she does 20% more damage in dire situations. And then when she's all by herself, she has Horn Drill that she can fire off. Horn Drill is just, it has 30 accuracy, but if it lands, it knocks out on your guy no matter what. I gave it Rain Rally 4, so she has a 50% chance of causing it to rain with her spinning drill of destruction. Right? So that is very dire situation for a striker with 30,000 HP, which is not very much. If you leave her for last, that's what you get. And Horn Drill gets to fire off. Her trainer move does give plus 1 accuracy. That's just for Drill Run and Mega Horn. If you know, in the main games, Horn Drill is unaffected by accuracy or evasiveness boosts. It's just 30% to land. So don't worry, the accuracy has nothing to do with Horn Drill. So don't worry about that. But the accuracy will affect Mega Horn and Drill Run, so she doesn't miss that. And then I have a new mechanic that I've added myself. Hopefully you guys like this. I know I like it. So because the enemy, it takes forever to attack. Like, you get 3 attacks, and then they get 1, and then you get 3, then they get 1. Right? That's how it works. I've added another thing to kind of help them get a little bit more attacks, so it feels like you're not in control of the fight like the whole time. Right? Which is nice, but it's not as challenging when you know the turn order that they're going to attack, because because right now in the game every single battle has exactly the same turn order of attack. The middle attacks first, and then the right, and then the middle again, then the left, and then the middle attacks the rest of the game unless they're disrupted. That's just how it works. That's, no matter what, that's exactly the turn order in every single battle. I'm trying to not have that. So anyone can attack. It's not going to have that turn order. I'm trying to make it so the most optimal move is used. Like, if Misty has a chance to hit you with a Mega Horn and hit weakness, she's going to take it. That's not saying they're not going to only get 1 attack. They will still only get 1 attack, but the most optimal one will be used at the time that they select it. So anyway, my new mechanic, I'm calling it Reaction Actions. Basically, when something specific happens, they get to use a move immediately, ignoring all turn order. So for example, we got the first one here I'm calling Rainy Kickstart. It pairs with her world famous offensive, which is her trainer move. So used immediately after the weather becomes rainy, once per battle. So when the weather becomes rainy, she just uses her trainer move right away. No matter what, she just ignores turn order, uses her training move right away. It's not that bad. That will just give her +2 attack, +1 critical hit rate, and accuracy +1 for everyone. And if it is raining, it will heal her by 6,000 HP. So it will be raining. So when it becomes rainy, she uses her trainer move, and her bonus effect for her trainer move goes off because it's raining. She'll heal 6,000 HP. So yeah, a little bit pairing stuff there. And then we got the another one, a reaction action. I'm calling Thunderous Surge. So Thunderous Surge pairs with Supersonic. She doesn't have it in their base attacks, but she has it with this reaction action. Used immediately after an electric type attack is used. Okay, it doesn't matter who it hits. Basically, the Seeking draws in a little bit of the electricity, and it uses it from its horn to make a really annoying screaming sound, and it uses Supersonic. Right, so that's in reference to Lightning Rod. It doesn't act like Lightning Rod, but it is kind of, it's cool. So also, if you remember, her passive Burgeoning, if she does confuse something, or if she does inflict an ailment on someone, she inflicts the same ailment on everyone. So if an electric type attack is used, she goes for supersonic, and if it lands, everyone is confused on your side of the team. If you also remember, she increases her accuracy by +1 with her trainer move, so supersonic is a higher chance to land. Right, so that is Seeking. Pretty cool. That was my first one I made. I think I did pretty good on it. It sounds really fun to fight, honestly. If rain is up, it's very devastating with all this raging rain stuff and the evasiveness boost in the rain, and it's just really bad. If there's no rain, she gets absolutely no boosts for her water type moves. Like Raging Rain doesn't go off. She only gets on a roll with Liquidation. That's it. And then Mega Horn and Drill Run they're still the same. But without rain, she's not very powerful. So it's a fish out of water if there's no rain. So that's Seeking. Very cool. Next up, we got Quagsire. Toughness rating of average again. I made it a ground type, so I didn't want everything to be a water type, even though she's a water type. Gym Leader, I wanted some stuff different. So it's a physical tech. That's what I made Quagsire, and it's sync move bonus, because techs obviously always have a bonus. The more the target's speed has been lowered, the greater the power of this move. So that's the same thing as Clement. Clement has that. So HP of 43,000. So that's 13,000 more HP than the Seeking, which I think is fair. Weakness of Grass, again, because that's Quagsire's only weakness. Pairs with Ground, Kanto, and Gym Leader. Its attack is decent, so it's less than Seeking. Defense is good. Special attack is decent good. Special defense is decent good. And speed is poor, and only 9 gauge reserves. So Quagsire will not be moving very much. Yeah, I didn't say this, and it doesn't apply to Seeking, so that's alright. I'm going to try to make use of a Gym Leader's signature moves. So the TM that they give out in the game, that's like their signature move that they try to use on their guys. In Misty's case, she appears this multiple Kanto remix, so she has a few signature moves, but she has 2. She has Water Pulse, and she has Scald. So those moves are going to appear on a lot of these guys. Matter of fact, the rest of them have either Water Pulse or Scald or both. Seeking's the only one that doesn't have either one of those. So anyway, the items and trainer moves. For the Quagsire, I gave it a mini potion all, only one of them, though. That's going to be 8,800 HP for itself, and then obviously the same, like the percentage for everyone else. So mini potion all is going to be devastating. It's got Barricade 1 and Shielding Strikes 1, so that increases her own defense and special defense just by +1. Trainer move is called Slow But Steady. It has only 1 move point. Raises the user's defense by 2 stat ranks. Raises the user's special defense by 2 stat ranks. Applies the Damage Guard next effect to the user and lowers the user's speed by 1 stat rank. And it's got move point refresh 3. So basically how I'm going to do these trainer moves is I'm going to increase, stats are going to increase by 4 in total. And that's about average. In this case, it increases by 4. It has the Damage Guard next, but it has speed -1. So the speed -1 and the Damage Guard next kind of cancel each other out, even though they don't. Obviously, one of them's like the hindrance of -1 speed is not really a hindrance, but that's the excuse. Anyway, we got passives. There's not as many as Seeking, but they're still good. So we got Ripple Effect 6. If she lowers stats with a move, she has a 70% chance to lower the same stats on every one of your guys, regardless of if they hit them or not. We got a new passive called Over Armor. So this one reduces the chance of the user being critically hit. It's that simple. It's not as good as Vigilance. It's just -1 stat rank pretty much. Just pretend you're at -1 stat rank at all times when you try to use a move. Right? So if you're at +3 and you hit the Quagsire, you're basically like you're at +2. We got Opening Blockade. So that's what Caitlyn and Sableye have. What that does is when they enter the field, the Reflect and Light Screen go up. Pretty much right away. Like, that's what that does. And then this is technically a new passive, Closing Blockade. It's exactly the same thing, except for it works the first time that Quagsire is in a pinch every battle. So if it's almost dead, then it gets Reflect and Light Screen as well. So because it's a little bit resistant to critical hits, if Reflect and Light Screen are up and you hit it and you don't crit, it will hit the screen, right? So that's part of the strategy there. We got Antitoxin, because Quagsire is not eating any of that up, and Unflappable, so you can't be flinched. And then we got Slow Wind Up 3, so if the user's speed is lowered, it powers up moves by 30%. That's what Hala and Crabominable, Crabominable, bleh. That's what they have. So if their speed is lowered, they get stronger, and they will be lowered because their trainer move lowers it by 1. And then we got Cakewalk. So the more the target speed is lowered, the more sync move damage she'll do. That's also what Clement has. Right, so that's all the passives. That's it there. Attacks, we got Earthquake. Right, basic ground type attack with Trip Up 2. 30% chance that it lowers speed when it hits. I guess there's Scald here, like I said, that's an option. With Hostile Environment 1, so 51% chance of burning you with Scald. We got Mud Shot with Double Drop, so Mud Shot lowers speed 100%, and when it does, it actually lowers it by 2 because of Double Drop. And then Ripple Effect, 70% chance that everyone's speed is -2 with Mud Shot. Earthquake, Trip Up 2, 30% chance that speed is lowered -1. Ripple Effect 7, or Ripple Effect 6, 70% chance. Bam, everyone's speed is lowered -1. We got Mud Bomb with Honor Roll 4, which is 83% chance to lower your accuracy by 1. And then Ripple Effect, 70% chance that everyone's accuracy is lowered by 1. So very deadly stat drops there with speed and accuracy. Very important stats for your guys being lowered. When an ally is down, she gets access to Yawn with Trip Up 2. So how Yawn works in the main games is you have 1 turn left before you fall asleep. In this game, it's not actually in the game yet, so you know that bar that fills up when you use Phantom Force or Fly or any of those 2-turn moves? When you get hit by Yawn, there will be a bar like that as well, and you gotta use a move before you gotta select a move before that bar runs out, pretty much. You can use one more attack, and then you'll fall asleep. That Yawn also has Trip Up too, so because you're drowsy, you move slower. I think that makes sense. So yeah, and then obviously again, Ripple Effect will lower speed for everyone. Ally KO passives. So she'll get Slow Wind Up 5, which will replace Slow Wind Up 3 when an ally is down on her team. And then Lone Wolf Attack. She gets access to Haze with Charging Infliction 4, which is the same thing Vaporeon has. So which will charge the move gauge by 4 when she uses Haze. If you remember, her speed is poor, and her gauge reserves are only 9, so she can't really move, especially if she's by herself, and she has no resistance to paralysis. So, I mean, she has a 50% base resistance, but susceptible to being slow, right, so far. But here's the reaction action. So reaction actions ignore move gauge. I didn't say that, but they would. And then Safety Surge is what I called the passive, and it pairs with Earthquake. Used immediately after the user is hit by an attack that was not a critical hit. So because her over armor, -1 critical hit rate pretty much for all your guys, if you fail to crit her, it will not only hit the screen and do almost no damage, she'll also be able to fire off an Earthquake immediately, and that Earthquake has a 30% chance to lower your speed by 1 of everyone, right? So pretty crazy, right? And also that Earthquake will be powered up by slow windup because her speed will be lowered because she will use her trainer move, and there's a chance that she gets move point refresh 3. So that's why I gave her defense. The trainer move gives her defense and special defense, and her potion also gives a little bit more defense and special defense. Most of the time those are useless. When an ally or when an enemy uses them in like Champion Stadium or something, they're almost always useless. The only thing they do is they mitigate the stat drops that you're trying to do. They're useless because if you get a critical hit, you ignore them anyway. In this case, they're not useless because if you hit and it doesn't crit, you're going to be hitting her buffed defense and special defense, the screen, and she'll fire off an Earthquake. So that's what Quagsire does. It's slow and it won't attack on its own. It'll only attack when you attack it, pretty much. It still has some... Obviously, it can still attack, but it's very slow and it very likely will take a long time to fire off an Earthquake. So that's Quagsire. Pretty cool stuff. Tech, lowering speed and accuracy with that reaction action of the Earthquake, which is pretty cool, and this critical hit resistance. If it had Vigilance, it would just be way better, but I didn't think that was worthy. I'm not trying to make this too difficult yet. It's only a gym leader, right? So toughness rating of average, that's what this one is. And I told you the tier list, there's still good, great, and excellent above this. So how this is going to work, before I move on to the next one, all the Gym Leader's Pokemon are going to be average, except for their Ace Pokemon, so Starmie is going to be one tier up, which is going to be good. Elite Four members, all their guys are going to be good, except for their Ace, which is going to be great. And then for Champions, all their guys are going to be great, except for their Ace, which is going to be excellent. So that's how it's going to work, there. And Champions, and also like really like legendary trainers like Red. Yeah. Even though he's kind of champion-like. But anyway, next one. We got Misty and Vaporeon, right? So this one already is in the game. But not as an enemy. So toughness rating of average. Type, water. Duh. Style, this is also a tech, but it's a special tech, so it's the same thing as the base one. A lot of influence is going to come from the base one, by the way. Why would it be much different? But you'll see. Sync move bonus. You should know already if you know Sing to Suit Misty at all. This move's power increases when none of the target stats are raised. Alright, so that's what she does. 42,500 HP, so not as much as Quagsire, but it will be doing more... You're going to see it's going to do more damage than Quagsire. It's not as bulky, but it's going to do more damage. Weakness of Electric this time, that's what it is. That's what it is normally. Pairs with Water, Kanto, and Gym Leader. We got Attack of Poor, right? Defense, decent. Special Attack is good. Special Defense is good. And Speed is decent with 12 gauge reserves. Okay? Items and trainer moves. We got X Special Attack all. 1 move point with move point refresh 2. That's it. That's all it does. And then a trainer move of Go with the Flow with 1 move point and move point refresh 3. If you don't know what Go with the Flow does, it increases the user's defense by +2 and increases the special defense of all allied sync bears by +2. So that's what it does normally. For passives, you're going to see a lot of them from her sync grid and base stuff, but there will be more still. Shifty Striker 4, that's what she has normally. We got Slippery Slope 4, she does not have that. So I said earlier, when you attack her and you miss, it's a 50% chance her evasiveness goes up. Flameproof. Fast Runner, which means her evasiveness can't be lowered. Agile Entry 1, she starts the battle with +1 evasiveness. We got Blind Spot, the more her evasiveness is raised, the more her sync move will do. And we got Bob and Weave, the more her evasiveness is raised, the more her regular moves will do. Team Smart Infliction 4, so when she uses a status move, there's a 50% chance the special attack of all allied sync bears goes up. Team Shielding Infliction 4, same thing except for its defense. Fail Forward 1, when she dodges an attack, her move gauge charges by 1. Group Spectacle 9, when you attack her and miss, all of her she increases the accuracy of all allied sync bears by 1. And then Stop Hitting Yourself 3. that increases the chances of you hitting yourself in confusion when you're confused. So there's a 43% chance with 3. And then healthy healing, so she'll start the battle with gradual healing. A lot of those are from her grid and stuff, but some of the other stuff, like when she dodges, is not there. So attacks, we got Water Gun. I had to have Water Gun because it's her base set. Water Gun with move gauge refresh 9, just so it doesn't cost anything, and then Shifty Striker 2. So yeah, 50% chance her evasiveness goes up when she attacks normally. If it's Water Gun, there's another 30% chance that it goes up by another stat rank. We got Haze, 2 move points with move point refresh 2 and propulsion 3. So Haze, pretty simple there. And Mist with 2 move points, move point refresh 2 and propulsion 3. And also it has Iron Wall, which is what Regirock has. When you use a status move, it applies the critical hit screen on your allied field of play. So no crits after she uses Mist, because Mist is it's kind of a bad move. And then Water Pulse with aggravation 4, so very high chance of confusing you, right? And then she has the stop hitting yourself 3. She does not have burgeoning though, so only one guy will be confused. When an ally goes down, she gets access to Scald with Hostile Environment 2, which is a 66% chance to burn. And then she also gains Scorcher 2, so that burn will do more damage when an ally goes down. When she's all by herself, she gets access to Hydro Pump, which has Victory Lap. So that's another thing that Regirock has. I did not mean to do that on purpose with the double Regirock stuff. But when she KOs an opponent with an attack, in this case with Hydro Pump specifically, she gets the critical hit next effect. So if she takes out your support with Hydro Pump, your next guy is in big danger because it probably won't have Vigilance, and the Hydro Pump will be a critical hit coming your way. And then we got the reaction actions. Heavy Retaliatory Surge. Quite a name. With Water Gun, paired with Water Gun. Used immediately after the opponent uses a 3 or more gauge move. So that's where this bit all turns around, right? So right now it was just kind of Water Gun, and Haze, and Mist, and Water Pulse. Right? That's all kind of sucks. If she's by herself, she gets Hydro Pump. And if she have an ally down, she gets Scald. But that kind of sucked. But now, if you use a 3 or more gauge move, she gets to use Water Gun, which will do almost no damage, but she'll get some Shifty Striker stuff. And her Sync move will be charged a little bit. Right? So, yeah. That'll teach some teams a lesson. Or, yeah. It's not that bad. I don't think it's just Water Gun. It shouldn't be that bad. And when you see it immediately, you know who to target. Like if your team is only 3 gauge moves or more, and you use the first one and you see that happen, I'm pretty sure you're probably going to switch your target to this Vaporeon to wipe it out first, before it gets to do that too much. But that's kind of what the play is. That's kind of what Misty's plan is. Because it's not that bulky. Like I said, it's only decent defense and good special defense. So defense is bad, but special defense is good, like it says. So what she's counting on is that she's gonna reveal that she has that. You're gonna want to target her, but she has Shifty Striker and Slippery Slope, and she's gonna be dodging stuff. Right? And you're going to be using 3 gauge moves to try to hit her, but then you're going to miss, and then she's going to use Water Gun again, and you're going to try it again, and you're going to miss, she's going to use Water Gun again, and then she'll fire off a Sync move, wipe something off the board because it's powered up by Blind Spot, and you're... Right? Maybe not wipe something off, it won't do that much damage. Your special attack is good, like I said. But that's not the only reaction action. So because Mist and Haze are kind of bad, I gave them reaction actions. So Emergency Cloudy Surge is what I called the passive with Mist, used immediately after one of the user's stats is lowered. So if you lower one of her stats, she uses a Mist, she gets the stat reduction screen up, and she gets the critical hit screen up because Mist has Iron Wall, and Propulsion 3 as well. Reaction actions do consume move points though, so she only has 2 of those. Right, with move point refresh 2. They don't take gauge, but they'll take move points. And then Emergency Foggy Surge, paired with Haze, used immediately after the target exceeds 15 stat ranks in total. So that's the devastating one. You buff too much with one guy, with your support, because that's who she's going to be targeting. She's going to use Haze immediately. She'll get rid of all those buffs, right? Very devastating. It'll only fool you once. The next time you see Vaporeon, if you happen to lose this one, or even win, the next time you see Vaporeon, no matter what, you're going to know, hey, or Misty's Vaporeon, specifically, you're going to know, hey, don't boost too much, she'll haze it away. But that's the thing, though, with this Endless mode, you're not going to know who you're going to run into, but it's just, you're going to have to try to make a team that's good enough to, like, it's going to be hard, it's going to be impossible to make a team that's going to be able to counter every single thing in that I'm going to plug in here. And I've only done 3 guys, Quagsire, Seeking, and frickin' Vaporeon, and that probably already sounds like a big problem to a lot of teams. You can't buff too much. Like, yeah, exactly. And don't forget, there's going to be 3 of these every single battle. There's only going to be 1 of Misty's, but when I make 3, then we can have... When I make 3 of these... we can have a little bit of, I can experiment a little bit with things that can be paired up. Speaking of which, sorry, before we move on to the next one, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to do Generation 1, and then I'll move 2, and then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and 7, and 8, right? That's how I'm going to do that. I'll go through the generations, and I'll also swap gender. So I did a female this time, and for the next one I'll do male, and then I'll swap, right? So, yeah, at least until I get to 8, and then I'll flip it. So then, the next time I go around, I'll do the opposite gender of the generation. So when I get to Generation 1 again, I'll do a male. So the next one is going to be Generation 2 with a male, so I'm thinking I'm going to do Price next. But anyway, that's not where I'm at right now. We got Lapras. Toughness rating average. We have seen Lapras before in an extreme battle or something like that. I know we have seen it before, so I took some influence from that battle. But a lot of it is me. We got type of water. I could have made it ice, but I didn't want to make it ice. Style, it's a special support. Lapras's attack and special attack are exactly the same, so it could have been either one, but I made it special. And I gave it a sync move bonus. The more the user's special defense is raised, the greater the power of this move. Supports generally don't have that, but Starmie does, so I figured why wouldn't Lapras have it as well, since it's being trained by the same person. 51,000 HP is a lot, but you'll see her defenses aren't very good. Weakness of fighting. So it is a water type, but it is still weak to fighting because it can be. Pairs with water, Kanto, and Gym Leader. We got attack decent, defense decent for a support, that's not good. Special attack is average, special defense is average, and speed is decent average. So none of her guys are fast so far. Gauge reserves 12. Items and trainer moves. We got X special defense all. You probably saw that coming. 1 move point with move point refresh 3. Her trainer move I called Gentle Hearted Clash with 1 move point. Raises the evasiveness of all allied sync bears by 1 stat rank. So it's not that bad, but it is still there, so it could be annoying. Makes opponents target the user for a short time, which is going to be annoying. So I bet you thought, oh, the supports do no damage, all they can do is just tank stuff and I can just ignore them and save them for last. Well, in this case, you cannot. Use her trainer move, pulls you and you have to attack her, the Lapras. Applies the gradual healing effect to all allied sync pairs. You have to attack her, I say, but for AoE attacks, obviously that doesn't matter. Applies the gradual healing effect to all allied sync pairs as well, with move point refresh 3. So everyone's healing, you target Lapras, everyone has +1 evasiveness. For the passives, we got Vigilance. I gave this thing Vigilance because it has shell armor in the main games. I also balanced Vigilance because I gave her defense, really bad defense, I gave her decent defense and special defensive average, right? She does have 51,000 HP, but I lowered their defenses because of this vigilance, even though they're support. Force Field 9. So in that extreme battle I was talking about, it has Force Field. So I gave it Force Field 9. If you don't know what that does, when she attacks, she raises the special defense of all allied sync pairs by +1. Smart Cookie is there. The more special defense she has, the more her basic attacks will do. Mind Games 3. 40% chance that she lowers special defense when she hits you with a move. Torrential Tenacity. When it's raining, she's immune to ailments. So she's immune to Confusion, Trap, and Flinch when it's raining. And then I gave her Torrential Persistence, which isn't in the game, but I made it up. Prevents the user from becoming statist when the weather is rainy. So she can't set the rain yourself, you'll see here in a second, but if it so happens to start raining, she does benefit from it. Anti-Freeze is there because it's an ice type. Trained Mind 8. So normally it's Trained Mind 5. Trained Mind is the mitigation for special defense. Normally it's Trained Mind 5. I gave it Trained Mind 8 because it's better. But she only has Trained Body 2. So if her defense is lowered, she doesn't handle it as well as everyone else would. And then here's the passive here that's going to be annoying. Hypothermic Hypnosis 1. I made it up. Has a chance, number plus 10% of making the target fall asleep when an attack against it is successful. So when she uses a move and hits you, 20% chance that guy is asleep. No matter what attack it is. So that's going to be very annoying, especially if some of her attacks are AoE, like the Surf I'm about to say. Surf. Pep Rally 2. Move gauge refresh 3. So 30% chance speed increases for everyone, and then also, like I said, there's that 20% chance that she puts you to sleep with Surf, because it's cold, right? Cold water from an ice type. Hypothermia makes you tired, makes you drowsy, so that's the reason behind that. Water Pulse, like I said, gonna try to plug that in. Water Pulse with Pep Rally 2, just like Surf does. And except it also has all ramped up 2, which increases 30% chance to increase the special attack of all allied sync pairs by 1 stat rank, and then Aggravation 2, which is a 49% chance to cause confusion with Water Pulse. She only has 2 attacks until an ally is KO'd, so Water Pulse and Surf are going to be fired off. When an ally is KO'd, she gets access to Blizzard. So Blizzard has Hypothermic Hypnosis 3. So if she uses Blizzard, there's a 20% chance you fall asleep. If you bypass that, there's a 40% chance you fall asleep. If you bypass that, there's a 10% chance you get frozen, just because of Blizzard's thing. So really hard to ignore that. Ally KO passives. Pinpoint Entry 2. So she gets +2 accuracy. So Blizzard doesn't miss. Very devastating if it won't do that much damage. Like I said, special attack is average. So it won't do much, but there's a chance that it will screw you over. A Lone Wolf attacks, she gets access to Sing when she's all by herself, which has Go Viral 9, so she can put you to sleep if Hypothermic Hypnosis is not working. Then Sing will put you to sleep. Right? I didn't give her any reaction actions, because I figured, hey, this is already hell to be put to sleep from Blizzard and Surf and stuff like that. I figured it was already really good and is basically on the verge of being broken. So she has to depend on her decent average speed and 12 gauge reserves, so she won't be that fast. She does boost speed though with Pep Rally on Surf and Water Pulse. So that's Lapras. Pretty scary. I like the name of Hypothermic Hypnosis. I think that rolls off the tongue nicely, I think. So just not to toot my own horn, but yeah. Next up, we got Gyarados. You probably should have saw this one coming if I was listing this. Gyarados is here, toughness rating of average. You're gonna see I was kind of struggling to keep this at average because it is a mega evolution, so it was hard. So type of water, but it becomes dark after mega evolving. Style of physical strike, 33,000 HP, which is a little bit more than Seeking, but yeah. Weakness of electric, but it becomes fairy after mega evolving. Unfortunately, regular Gyarados and Mega Gyarados, they don't share any weaknesses, so the weakness has to swap in the middle of battle if she Mega Evolves, which is unfortunate. But there's nothing I can do about it. Pairs with Water and Kanto and Gym Leader, so she doesn't pair with Dark, she pairs with Water because it starts off as Water, so it's like Easter, May, and Lopunny. Attack is good, but it becomes great after Mega Evolving. Defense is decent. Special attack is decent. Special offense is poor, decent, but it becomes average after Mega Evolving. And speed becomes decent, with 15 gauge reserves. So again, she's not very fast. That's kind of... You can just pay attention to that as I list this destruction. Items, trainer moves. X attack all, 1 move point with Berserker 1. So everyone gets +2 attack, but she also gets +1 attack with Berserker 1 just for herself. Atrocious offensive with 1 move point, raises users, which is a trainer move, raises users speed by 2 stat ranks, raises users special attack by 1 stat rank, raises users evasiveness by 1 stat rank. So she has slight evasiveness, just like everything else except for Quagsire. And then speed is there, special attack is there by +1, and evasiveness is there. Passives, now I'll get to them. Terrify 1, so it has Intimidate in the base games. It has Intimidate here, Terrify 1, there it is. Demoralize 1, so after using a Sync move, your attack gets lowered by another 1. And also, Terrify doesn't go away after Mega Evolving, so technically how it works is all the abilities, all the passives that activate on entry, after you Mega Evolve, they activate again. That is how it works. So Terrify would activate again. So you get -1 attack at the start, and every time she uses a Sync move, or when she uses a Sync move, you get -2. Every Sync move after that is just Demoralized, because Mega Gyarados is already on the field. It's got Victory Lap, which is what I said Regirock has. If it kills something, critical hit next. Build Up, another passive, so after using a Sync move, it gets critical hit next. It's got Head Start 1, which is, it charges the Sync move counter by 1 when on entry. Adrenaline 1, after using a Sync move, it charges the Sync move counter by 1. Dominating Sync 5 is what the Masked Royal and Incineroar have. If your attack is lowered, the Sync move is powered up by 50%. It does not matter how much it's lowered by, it's just if it is lowered, it is powered up. Defense Crush 4. Right here, so 50% chance she lowers defense. Spur on 3 is what Hilbert and Mighty Yenna have. When anything goes down, it charges the user's move gauge by 3. And then Confusion Synergy 2 is right there. After Mega Evolving, it loses Head Start 1, so like I said, all passives that activate on entry would activate again after Mega Evolving. I took away Head Start after Mega Evolving, so only Adrenaline goes off, Head Start does not go again. And then passives, another passive, she gets Piercing Blows. That's what Zekrom and Reshiram have. That ignores Vigilance, it ignores all passives that would stop the user's attack, it ignores Endure. Yeah. It's basically Mold Breaker, which is what Mega Gyarados has in the main games. That's why I gave it Piercing Blows. It is devastating, yes. But just keep in mind the speed that I gave it. I tried to slow it down so it doesn't spam attacks here. And you'll see I balanced it further down the road with these attacks. We got Aqua Tail with Defense Crush 2. So she has a base Defense Crush 4. Aqua Tail has a further Defense Crush 2. That's just like Hilbert and Samurot's Aqua Tail. And then Gobsmack 4. 50% chance she causes confusion when she hits you with an Aqua Tail, which would pair with her Confusion Synergy 2. Right? It's that simple. Crunch has Honor Roll 1, so there's 20% chances that it lowers defense by 1. Plus there's the Defense Crush 4. And then we got a new passive that pairs with Crunch called Decimation Blitz. Increases the user's physical moves up by number stat ranks when the user's Pokemon knocks out an opposing Pokemon. So if Crunch kills, she gets 2 physical move up. That's very devastating, because in the base In the main games, Gyarados has Moxie, so every time it knocks out something, it gets +1 attack. In this, if it knocks something out, it gets 2 physical moves up, and it also gets the victory lap that it has before. So next attack is going to be devastating if it kills with Crunch. It's going to have +2 physical moves up, and it's going to be a critical hit on the next attack. So make sure Gyarados isn't the one that kills something, because it thrives on biting down with Crunch and tearing something apart. Ice Fang, super duper effective too. So same deal with the Mega Horn on Seeking. Ice coverage, some grass types are weak against ice, so we'll have that, and it will be powered up, super duper effective too. It also has Decimation Blitz, so both the biting moves that it has, I gave Decimation Blitz, which means if it kills you with a biting move, it will be devastating. If it ends up being, this is possible, and I did think about this, if she's on one more move before she uses a sync move, and she kills you with Crunch, and she gets +2 physical move up, and critical hit next, and then she fires off a sync move, yes, it's pretty much game over. If you let that happen, that's your fault. Not mine for making this up. And then Ally KO attacks, I gave it Scald, that's why it has +1 special attack. Scald has Pep Rally too, which is a bit of a support passive, but I gave it. And Gobsmack 4, so 50% chance to cause confusion, 30% chance to burn, 30% chance to increase speed of everyone. So Scald is there because it is her signature move. And then Ally KO passives, Confusion Synergy 4, which would replace Confusion Synergy 4. So after using a sync move and Mega Evolving, Confusion Synergy goes up more. So Confusion, if I didn't say Gobsmack, yeah, Gobsmack, 50% chance of causing confusion. She has no Lone Wolf attacks, and she has no reaction actions. That's where the balance is on this devastating creature. Basically, do not let it kill something. That is the only thing. That might be difficult because it's Gyarados and it's savage, but do not let it kill something. It's that simple. All these will only fool you once when playing this game mode, and the next time you see it, you should hopefully go, oh hey, that's Misty's Gyarados. I know exactly kind of what it does. I can't let it kill something, even though it's really hard to do that. Also, it's a striker, so I should target it first because it only has 33,000 HP. But that might be difficult because there might be another support that forces my attacks to go over there or something like that. Right? Like that, yes, like that. So, yeah, so that is Gyarados, very savage. It fires me up to read that Gyarados one just because it's very cool with the knocking out stuff. And then last but not least, the one that you already knew was going to be in this list when we started is Starmie. Toughness rating of good, not average. Yippee, like I said. Type is water, yep. Style is support, special support. So, yep. Sync move bonus, the same as Lapras and the same as it normally is. The more the user's special defense is raised, the greater the power of this move. 48,500 HP, so less than Lapras, but it has better defenses, you'll see. Weakness of electric, like it normally is. Pairs with water, Kanto, and Gym Leader. Attack is decent. Defense is good. Special attack is good. Special defense is good, great. And speed is great. So when I say good, great, by the way, that's obviously like it's in between those two. Gauge reserves of 15. So pretty quick, and it's also great speed, so it shouldn't really worry about slowing down too much. Items and trainer moves. We got X Special Defense All Plus with 1 move point, with move point refresh 2. So the plus there are some guys that have that plus. If someone has X Speed Plus, it's Leon and Eternatus. They have X Speed Plus. So X Special Defense All Plus is +3 special defense for everyone instead of +2. And then Catch Us If You Can. Normally she can choose who she uses this on, but it would be kind of hard for an AI to do that, so it will be almost random who she does this on. but on herself normally, but 2 move points, with move point refresh 3 and slippery sidekicks 1. So no matter who she chooses, everyone's evasiveness goes up by 1. So if you don't remember what her trainer move does, she picks a target, that target gets +2 evasiveness and gradual healing. It's pretty cool, pretty good trainer move, honestly. Yeah, +2 evasiveness, gradual healing, and then no matter who she picks, like I said, everyone gets +1 evasiveness, so the target would actually be at +3. Right? We got passives here. Healing Hand 3, so she has Healing Hand 2 normally. Healing Hand 3 is a 40% chance she heals all status conditions after she attacks of all allied sync pairs. We got Racing Rain 2, so just in case it starts raining, she benefits. Elusive Rain 2, again just in case. Slippery Slope 4, so if she dodges something, like I said earlier, 50% chance she gets +1 evasiveness. Team Outsmart 9, so if she dodges something, raises the special attack of all allied sync bears by +1. She has a base on a roll 2, so 10% become 27%. Burgeoning Hit 9, so I said Burgeoning earlier, which is the one that if you do an ailment, then it gets everyone's affected, that's Seeking. Burgeoning Hit, when the user inflicts an ailment on an opponent with the additional effects of a move, has a chance number +10% to inflict the same ailment on all opposing sync pairs. So it's like a viral hit, like classic Elisa and Emolga, they have viral hit. In this case, if she has an ailment, then if she inflicts an ailment with an attack, then it goes off, right? Stalwart is there, so special defense can't be lowered. Smart Cookie is there, so the higher her special defense, the more her attacks will be. Blind Spot is there, so the higher her evasiveness, the more her sync move damage will be. She's got Agile Entry 1. She's got Team Speedy Entry 1. +1 speed for everyone on the entry. Q Cutter 1 is what New Year's Lily and Rabombi have. If she evades a move, there's a 20% chance that she gets her move, or sync move charged 1, right? Acute Senses 2. If she's not affected by an ailment, she gets a 20% resistance to all attacks. That's what Uxie has in the Legendary Arena, and it also Aaron, and Drapion, they have Acute Senses 4, which is very annoying, but anyway. And then Stop Hitting Yourself 2, if she does cause confusion, and then Confusion Synergy 5, 50% boosts if you're confused. So she's going to force you to try to... So, because when you're confused, you can just choose not to attack, and you don't have to worry about it if you want. Confusion Synergy 5, if you don't want that to be powered up, you're going to have to try to fight through the confusion. That's the only way to get rid of it, most of the time. So that's devastating. Attacks here, we got Scald, right? It's got Gobsmack 3, so 40% chance to cause confusion. And Mind Swell 4, so 50% chance to increase her own special attack after using Scald. And then we got Water Pulse with Aggravation 5, 74% chance to cause confusion. And then, like I said, Burgeoning Hit, if she does cause confusion, it hits everyone. Right? And then Confusion Synergy 2 on Water Pulse. If you're already confused and she uses Water Pulse, it'll do more damage. We got Hydro Pump with Mind Swell 4, like I just said, increases special attack, 50% chance. And Rain Rally 1. So Hydro Pump has a 20% chance to cause the weather to be rainy. Just a little bit, right? Psychic has Mind Games 2, and also Ripple Effect 9, so 30% chance she lowers the special defense of the target, and then she'll lower the special defense of everyone if she uses Psychic. Right? Ally KO attacks, we got Thunderbolt, so when one of our allies is down, she can use Thunderbolt. Super duper effective too. Right? Again, electric coverage. I also gave it something called Super Grievance 4 is the passive. So not only is that super duper effective too, so power up moves there. Super Grievance, when hitting super effectively, raises the chance of inflicting status conditions with the additional effects of moves. Raises the chance number plus 10% of doing that, right? So Super Grievance 4 is a 50% chance of causing paralysis if it hits super effective. Other than that, it's just a basic 10%. So it's like hostile environment, but it only works on super effective. And then ally KO passives, I gave her Team Fist Bump 9. So that's what Signa Suit Blue has. When she attacks, she heals all allied sync pairs by about 8%, roughly. I don't actually know the percentage, but about that. Signa Suit Blue only has Team Fist Bump 2, but this only works when one of her allies are down, by the way. And then Team Pinpoint Entry 1. So she gets accuracy when an ally goes down. That's kind of for her Hydro Pump that she can still fire off. That's the only one of her moves that has lower accuracy. But it's just kind of just there, just in case, because you never know. Like, you never know who she's going to be paired with, right? And then Lone Wolf attacks. When she's all by herself, she can start firing off Surf. That has Staggering 1, which is a 20% chance to cause you to flinch. And because it's AoE, it will hit everyone and cause everyone to flinch. And Gobsmack 3, which is that 40% chance to cause confusion. And then when she's all by herself, she gets Leg Up 9. So she charges her sync move counter by 1 when she gets all by herself. Right? And then reaction actions here. Replenishing Kickstart paired with X Special Defense All Plus. Used immediately after the user gets a move point back on a move. Once per battle. So the moment she gets X Special Defense All Plus, the moment she uses it, if she gets the move point refresh on it, she immediately uses it again, regardless of turn order. That's what reaction actions, right? So she gets plus 6 special defense right away. Everyone gets plus 6 special defense right away. And then the other reaction action I called Opportunist's Surge with Water Pulse. Used immediately after the opposing Pokemon hurts itself in confusion. So if you do hurt yourself, which by the way there is about a 43% chance roughly that you hurt yourself in confusion, with her Stop Hurting Yourself 2, then she uses Water Pulse immediately. And if you are still confused, which you will be because you hurt yourself, it has Confusion Synergy 2, plus Confusion Synergy 5 on her base passives. Plus Smart Cookie, because her special defense will be increased, right? And she should have a good amount of special attack from Team Outsmart and stuff. Right? So that is Starmie. It is a very offensive support, wouldn't you say? That was kind of the goal here. So because it's Misty and she just talks about, all out offensive, I made the supports kind of all offensive as well. That's why Lapras as a support is so annoying with the Hypothermic Hypnosis. Sleeping chance. Yeah. So yeah, all out offensive stuff. For my other guys, their supports aren't going to be as devastating. Like this Starmie is a support, but it's going to be devastating because you're going to be confused and such. So how it's going to, right? So Confusion Synergy 5. So if she does confuse something with Water Pulse, 74% chance. Burgeoning Hit means every one of your guys is confused, right? So it's going to be devastating because every single one of your guys is confused, and then there's a 43% chance that you hurt yourself in confusion, and if you hurt yourself in confusion, she uses Water Pulse again, right? And if she uses Water Pulse again, and one of your guys is immune and one of your guys is worn off on the confusion, even if she hits the guy, say your support is still confused, but your striker isn't confused anymore, she hits your support, it gets Confusion Synergy, and then Aggravation would activate, and it technically would confuse it again, but it can't be confused again, but it would re-confuse your striker because of Burgeoning Hit 9. So your guys are all going to be confused if Starmie gets some momentum here with Confusion. If she gets Confusion at all, you're probably going to stay confused the whole fight, and it's going to be really hard to break that. I'm trying to make this game mode very difficult sounding on purpose, right? Because in my opinion the game is too easy right now, so I'm trying to make it seem like we're mortal. We can just blast through everything right now. I say I feel like most players should be able to handle most of the content relatively easily. The only thing that is challenging is if the game takes away sync pairs. Like when it says Kanto and Johto sync pairs get 50% stat increases, for example. It restricts your choices to only those two places. I'm trying to make a game mode that has no restrictions. You can use whoever you want, but it's still going to be challenging because that's not in the game yet. The hardest thing is the Champion Stadium because you can use whatever you want, right? And yeah, the Champion Stadium is currently my favorite thing in the game. Anyway, this was my speculation. This was all purely from my imagination and just speculation, random ideas. The entire game mode is me. All these guys that I just built is me. Hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it, which is actually impossible. I had way too much fun making these. Yeah, and please let me know which one your favorite is, like I said, and let me know which one your least favorite is. I know it's probably easy to pick a least favorite one because they're all disgusting and kind of mean, like the Lapras with the sleep and this Starmie with the permanent confusion almost. A lot of them are very mean, and the Gyarados that kills you instantly. Yeah, a lot of them are very mean, but let me know anyways. Right? And I will take requests as well. If you want to see a trainer get 6 guys, let me know. I'll add them. I'll consider them greater than the others. I'm probably going to do price next. But if you have an idea for Generation 3, like a female from Generation 3, because like I said, I'm swapping them. Or, yeah, then I'll do them, right? It doesn't have to be that. You can just say whatever you want, and eventually I'll get to that. But yeah. That's going to be all for me. That is Misty. That is the Endless Mode Misty. That is the rules for Endless Mode. That is devastating. And this was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you for the next one, which is Price. Okay? Hope you look forward to that. Okay, I'm going. Smell you later.